Good evening and namaskar. I'm Dr. Sunil Richardson, maxillofacial surgeon practicing out of South India. And with me here is Dr. Johnson Raja. He's also the vice principal of Raja's Dental College. He's also a famous implantologist. Then we have Dr. Pragati and Dr. Catherine. They are our in-house dentists who train with dental implants. We've been getting a lot of questions from our subscribers wanting answers for various aspects about the management and treatment of dental implants. So we have set this thing up. We've got Dr. Johnson to talk to us about some of the finer aspects of managing patients who otherwise cannot be managed unless you use so-called zygomatic implants. So we're going to let him start the whole talk and tell us about what these zygomatic implants are basically, and how by using them we can give the kind of teeth set that these patients really need, just like what nature would have given them. So Dr. Johnson, can you tell us or tell our subscribers basically when did the zygomatic implant come about and what is the main advantage of it?
So I'm very glad to be here in this amazing center. I'm glad to have operated on that case with Dr. Sunil sir, and who is an amazing surgeon by himself. He has done so many cases of here rhinoplasty and all that stuff. But I'm glad that we got here to do the zygomatic implant case for a patient who had lost all his teeth at a very young age of 38. A beautiful, young, handsome male patient, and the reason was just gum disease or periodontal disease. So we use zygomatic. Of course, you all know implants are used to replace missing teeth, and the conventional implants we place when there is adequate amount of bone. We need to have proper width and height of bone for placement. But there are conditions where the patients over a period of time or even a short period of time lose most of their bone, so that the normal straight implants or the basic implants cannot be placed. So in those cases, we take the support from the cheekbone. So because all this bone has gone away either due to gum disease or accidents, trauma, fractures, cancer, or by birth they have missing bone. Your cleft patients are good candidates for fixed replacement. Of course, most of the cases now go with removal process like obturators, and they go for a very long period of time with removal process, which is very difficult for them to wear and all that stuff. Whereas now this technology of zygomatic implants introduced by Professor Brainemark has now enabled us to give them fixed teeth immediately using the support of the cheekbone, that is the zygoma. So these implants are inserted into the zygoma bone.
So very simply put,
Yeah.
I mean, normally the implant or the screw that bears the teeth is put in the upper jaw.
Yeah.
But in these specific cases, it's put in the cheekbone or the malar bone or the zygoma bone,
Yes.
zygomatic bone.
Yes, sir.
Hence the name zygomatic implant.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So now we're going to move on to Dr. Catherine or Dr. Pragati. Can you ask us some of the common questions that have been asked by our subscribers over and over again?
The most common question is how long it takes for the bone healing to occur around the implant body that is placed.
Okay. The previous trend of conventional implantology is to place implants, wait for 3 months for the lower jaw and 6 months for the upper jaw, then go for processes. Whereas now modern protocols of immediate loading implantology has developed, where if you would walk into this center, we have a good CBCT over here. So we take all the radiographs, do some planning, and the next day itself we go for the implants. Within the third day, we can give you a fixed process. You can go out smiling and chewing. So that kind of technology is available, and with that process in place, the bone will start forming around it naturally. You don't have to actually wait for the bone to form.
So what he's trying to say is the osseointegration takes a longer while, but we can still give the patient functional teeth.
Yes.
Right? So you no longer have to wait for, let's say, 3 months before you get teeth after we put implants. We can go for immediate loading, but that doesn't mean healing takes place immediately. Healing still takes its time, but we're able to give you a teeth, you're able to use it right away.
And the advantage is that especially patients who are flying in, the NRI patients from outside the city who travel, they don't have to keep coming and going again. They can come here, they can stay maximum a week's time, get the implants and get the process, and they can go back.
Perfect.
And maybe a review after a year or 6 months is enough for them.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the big advantage of this kind of treatment. So it really helps a lot of dental tourism, so to say, because you can tour, you can come over here, we can get everything done, and you can go back with your new implants and with your new smile. and then you can be in touch with us in the follow-up. All right.
Okay. So, what kind of prosthesis is suitable for zygomatic implants?
So any kind of full mouth implants, be it all on fours or with pterygoid zygomatic, I personally advise first the initial process should be a hybrid processes. Though if you're doing a flapless procedure where there is some kind of bone width, okay, we can go for, of course zygomatic we can't do flapless, but for the all on 4, all on 6, we can go for the permanent process immediately using a ceramic or zirconia. But my personal opinion over the period of years to go for a hybrid acrylic processes, let the patient use the teeth, chew, get a feel of the bite, and then convert it, can scan it, convert the same bite to a permanent processes. Same applies for zygomatic implants, your all on fours, all that stuff.
And you would ideally want how long between the initial
a minimum, science says 3 months, a minimum of 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 months. They can wear the hybrid process even for a year. Suppose patients come flying far off, they can wear the process even for a year, come after a year, and then another 3 or 4 days they can get the permanent process done. Okay. So we can do that.
I just want to add at this juncture something very critical to success, critical that's needed for success in these kind of cases is the teamwork.
Yeah.
So he also has an excellent lab supporting him.
Yes. Very important.
Can you tell us, especially as subscribers, what is the role? These are non-medical guys.
Yes.
They are guys who do the technical aspect, but honestly, a lot of work goes behind them. They do a lot of work behind the screen, behind the scene, and that is so essential for the success of the entire treatment. Can you tell us, tell our subscribers about the role these people play and how we need to be in close association with them so that their help gives the best possible results for our patients?
So I'm glad you brought this question forward, because see, you're coming to me asking for teeth, you're not coming to asking for implants, right? So patient wants to go out with smiles. What lies beneath the bone is actually not your concern. How we manage is the surgeon's point of view. But then only when, see, for my cases, I get the lab personnel come stand by my side, see the patient, get a perspective of it, help and be with me during the impression procedures, so that they get a perfect bite, perfect smile, and the patient also is happy with the final outlook. We show them the teeth, this is how it will be. You want any changes, we can give any kind of smile. Some patients ask for space between the teeth, some ask for rotate teeth also. We can customize your smile as you want, and helps when the lab people are standing by us, rather than write in a piece of paper, do like this, do like that, and all this stuff. So actually speaking, the team matters. During the surgery, the support we have, and during the teeth setup, the lab support is very, very, very important.
I really asked you this question because in this case that you just did,
yes.
I mean, I was really amazed that the lab guys were there all along, and they were not only doing the basic things, but they were also giving a good viewpoint. Right? So all of this experience basically adds up, and we're able to give better results.
Every case is different, sir. There's no customized this Zygomatic implants go for. Every case is different. Every patient has different bite. We have to see how much they smile, see their lip lines, how much teeth has to be visible. Females different, male different, age difference. Each of this will go into the factors to determine the final processes. So it always helps to have a good lab next to us.
So what we're doing here at Richardsons is we not only ensure that we have a team of dentists and dental specialists, but we also have a team of anesthesiologists, and most importantly, like Dr. just mentioned, this team of technicians or the dental lab support, which is, I think, very, very pivotal in order to get fine results for the patients. Right.
Yes.
So
any more questions?
Yeah, we have another question. The question is, when the implant support, patient's concern is, will there be any nerve damage or any problem with the blood supply?
Let me take this one. This is more basic. Right. So this is very simple. So today, when you have cone beam CT scan, we can literally see the root ends, the nerves, everything can be mapped to precision.
Yes.
If you happen to watch some of our earlier videos, I clearly stress this out, that to know anatomy before you go in to do the surgery is the biggest plus that you can ever have, because you really know what's happening inside. And so therefore, with the gadgets that we have today, with the way of scanning, with the way of getting these equipments or these investments done, I think that's not an issue at all. But yes, there used to be a time when I got trained years before when you were not sure about the nerve, so you might place the implant into the nerve. But today that really doesn't happen. We are actually looking at even placing the implants into the zygoma and far beyond that.
Yes.
So I think
I like to add up on that. Now is the era of guided implant surgery.
Yeah.
So actually, if I do a full mouth case, it takes maximum 1.5 hours to 2 hours. But the planning takes for me at least 6 to 7 hours. I have a back-end team where you sit, plan, prepare the guides. So once I have the guides in place, just drilling and placing. I know where the position is, what size I'm going to use. There is no guessing over here. So it's all predetermined in the mind. I have the pre-printed model of the patient's skull in my hand. I know how his bone is. I see everything. So I have a visual picture over here, and it's easy on the chair.
It's precise.
Previously, it was not there. The chromium CT and guides in place. No, the procedure is, the margin of error has come down considerably.
So the whole skull will be 3D printed. And
Yes, we see the bone, where I'm going to place the implant. I can see the nerve exit points. I can see the eye, the nose, everything. So I know I'm not going to some place which I should not go.
Plus, we clearly know the lengths that
we are available. Planning is very, very important in these full mouth rehab cases.
Do you have any more?
Yeah, the major question is when the implant should not be put. So patients, every patient want implants for them. So what's the...
As a surgeon, do you want to answer this, sir? Well, my only take is only if there is a surgical contraindication. Suppose you cannot extract a tooth for a patient. When medical. It's nothing to do with the bone, nothing to do with the tissues. Suppose the patient's diabetic status is very poor.
Even the last patient, we did the diabetic management first 2 weeks. So remember, even though it's a dental implant, the medical health of the patient is of paramount
very
importance.
Yes.
And therefore, we have to make sure these patients are fit, healthy individuals that can not only undergo the surgery, but they can also withstand the dental prosthesis and have also integration. So for an example, patient who has, for example, very severe uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, patients who've got other cardiac issues, who are on various blood thinners. These are all patients that unfortunately cannot go for some of the major implants. But let's say you have thin bone, those were relative contraindications earlier.
Yes.
But now, like Dr. Johnson just mentioned, you were able to circumvent those issues by putting those zygomatic implants, by putting those pterygoid implants, by putting basal implants and getting over them. So more and more patients are still fit for this. But again, you have to have a basic medical checkup. In fact, even the last patient was referred to a physician and he had to manage the patient.
We did a follow-up for 2 weeks, got his sugar under control, then only went for the procedure.
We also got a dietitian.
Exactly.
Check on that.
We got the dietitian to look at it also.
So my concept is implantology anywhere. It's not like don't say no to implants in your practice. We are equipped with technology, skills, and technical team to manage any kind of bone cases. So okay.
So definitely. We can give new smile to anyone who needs a dental implant as long as they're medically fit. Because
now, sir, the thing is not like sometimes old age patients, even 60-year-old, 70-year-old, they want to bite and eat. It's not like, okay, roll now, I go with curd rice, and no, it's not like that. They want to eat mixture, they want to eat hard foods. It improves their quality of life. So at that age, when you give them implants, they change their life. Even the 10-15 years they're going to live forward, they live with good quality of life. That is where dental implants come into play.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about the fact that it improves the quality of life. All right, so do we have any more questions that we'll ask?
What's the success rate for zygomatic implants?
So I have been doing zygomatic implants for the past 5 years now, and I might have had the implants never failed. The implants are still there. I might have had one case of sinusitis and one case of some kind of infection around the implant head, which are easily managed. As such, I have not, because scientifically also zygomatic implants have a success rate of almost 98%, the recorded success rate, because you are placing it very dense bone, because the bone here is soft, the bone here is very, very hard, and they are long implants. I would place a 13mm implant over here. I am placing a 50mm implant over here. So we are having very good anchorage, very good primary stability. So actually the failure rates are very less in zygomatic implants.
To give you a percentage, I think we've had a success rate of close to 95% here at Richardsons since the time we've started. It's not 100%, which means that if you have 100 implants done, then 5 implants may not survive. And I think the international success rates also around 90 to 95%. Remember, it also depends on the type of patients we are choosing in the first place to place these implants. So, when you have this kind of patient who has hardly any bone, you have a patient who's diabetic.
They go to multiple places, then they come to us where they've been turned down.
Really complicated cases, and I think that's another reason why maybe it's not like up in the 99% range.
And the key is that we should be equipped, we are equipped to manage any kind of complications. We don't turn on the patient, the implant will go away. We will manage it somehow. We are equipped with those kind of things.
So that's the key. So as long as you can handle even an implant failure, which is manageable, you know, even free flash failures can be handled. So this is something which we are very, very comfortable handling. So you have to be least worried and think that, oh, what happens if my implant fails? We're going to take care of us. Our team is going to definitely take care of that.
I have one more question.
Yes,
Will it cause bone fracture while placing an implant like zygomatic implants?
See, the drilling, very good question. Okay, and very few reported cases of fractures happening due to zygomatic implant placement. See, there are proper drilling protocols, the speed to be used and the sizes to be used. When you follow up those proper surgical drilling protocols, you will not have any fracture. And especially now with guides in place, we know where we are drilling. We are not going too superficial to cause any shatters. So the fractures during zygomatic implants almost nil. Almost nil.
Absolutely. All right. So I hope. Are we done with the questions?
I'm sure when they see this video, they have more questions. So we'll have a part 2.
Yeah, we can have a part 2, and more importantly, guys, if you have any questions, don't think twice. Just type your questions down in the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and thank you again.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Questions.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming over. And
thank you, Sunil sir. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.